Greetings everyone. Many people are asking, what is Stoicism? If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Stoicism is a school of Hellenistic philosophy founded by Zeno of Citium in Athens in the early 3rd century BC. It is a philosophy of personal ethics informed by its system of logic and its views on the natural world. According to its teachings, as social beings, the path to eudaimonia is found in accepting the moment as it presents itself, by not allowing oneself to be controlled by the desire for pleasure or by the fear of pain, by using one's mind to understand the world and to do one's part in nature's plan, and by working together and treating others fairly and justly. The Stoics are especially known for teaching that virtue is the only good for human beings, and those external things, such as health, wealth, and pleasure, are not good or bad in themselves but have value as material for virtue to act upon, alongside Aristotelian ethics. The Stoic tradition forms one of the major founding approaches to virtue ethics. The Stoics also held that certain destructive emotions resulted from errors of judgment, and they believed people should aim to maintain a will that is in accordance with nature. Because of this, the Stoics thought the best indication of an individual's philosophy was not what a person said but how a person behaved. To live a good life, one had to understand the rules of the natural order, since they thought everything was rooted in nature. Many Stoics, such as Seneca and Epictetus, emphasized that because virtue is sufficient for happiness, a sage would be emotionally resilient to misfortune. This belief is similar to the meaning of the phrase Stoic calm. Though the phrase does not include the radical ethical, Stoic views that only a sage can be considered truly free and that all moral corruptions are equally vicious. The word Stoic commonly refers to someone who is indifferent to pain, pleasure, grief, or joy. Stoicism flourished throughout the Roman and Greek world until the 3rd century AD, and among its adherents was Emperor Marcus Aurelius. It experienced a decline after Christianity became the state religion in the 4th century AD. Since then it has seen revivals, notably in the Renaissance, and in a contemporary era the Stoics provided a unified account of the world, constructed from ideals of logic, monistic physics, and naturalistic ethics. Of these, they emphasized ethics as the main focus of human knowledge, though their logical theories were of more interest for later philosophers. Stoicism teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions. The philosophy holds that becoming a clear and unbiased thinker allows one to understand the universal reason. Stoicism's primary aspect involves improving the individual's ethical and moral well-being. Virtue consists in a will that is in agreement with nature. This principle also applies to the realm of interpersonal relationships. To be free from anger, envy, and jealousy, and to accept even slaves as equals of other men, because all men alike are products of nature. The Stoic ethic espouses a deterministic perspective. In regard to those who lack Stoic virtue, Cleanthes once opined that the wicked man is like a dog tied to a cart, and compelled to go wherever it goes. A Stoic of virtue, by contrast, would amend his will to suit the world and remain, in the words of Epictetus, sick and yet happy, in peril and yet happy, dying and yet happy, in exile and happy, in disgrace and happy, thus positing a completely autonomous individual will, and at the same time a universe that is a rigidly deterministic single whole substance, the primary matter, formless substance. That things are made of quality way matter is organized to form an individual object. In Stoic physics, a physical ingredient, pneuma, air or breath, which informs the matter somehow disposed particular characteristics, not present within the object, such as size, shape, action, and posture somehow disposed in relation to something characteristics related to other phenomena, such as the position of an object within time and space relative to other objects. Make for yourself a definition or description of the thing which is presented to you, so as to see distinctly what kind of a thing it is in its substance, in its nudity, in its complete entirety, and tell yourself its proper name, and the names of the things of which it has been compounded, and into which it will be resolved. For nothing is so productive of elevation of mind as to be able to examine methodically and truly every object that is presented to you in life, and always to look at things so as to see at the same time what kind of universe this is, and what kind of use everything performs in it, and what value everything has with reference to the whole. Marcus Aurelius. The mind has the ability to judge, approve, or reject an impression, enabling it to distinguish a true representation of reality from one that is false. Some impressions can be assented to immediately, but others can achieve only varying degrees of hesitant approval, which can be labeled belief or opinion. It is only through reason that we gain clear comprehension and conviction. Certain and true knowledge achievable by the Stoic sage can be attained only by verifying the conviction with the expertise of one's peers and the collective judgment of humankind. The universe itself is God and the universal outpouring of its soul. It is this same world's guiding principle, operating in mind and reason, together with the common nature of things and the totality that embraces all existence. Then the foreordained mind and necessity of the future, then fire and the principle of ether, then those elements whose natural state is one of flux and transition, such as water, earth, and air. Then the sun, the moon, the stars, and the universal existence in which all things are contained. Constantly regard the universe as one living being, having one substance and one soul, and observe how all things have reference to one perception, the perception of this one living being, and how all things act with one movement, and how all things are the cooperating causes of all things that exist. Observe, too, the continuous spinning of the thread and the structure of the web. In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Marcus Aurelius. Thank you for listening, and please share my video, and don't F0 or get to subscribe.